Okay, good day everyone. So, welcome to our week 7 of our GMDSS Maritime Communication. So, first, our topic for today is about the radio wave propagation. So, sa radio wave propagation, meron tayong composition dyan ng sky wave, space wave, and the ground wave. So, for these waves, meron tayo iba't ibang klase ng hertz na tinatawag. So for the sky waves, meron tayong 300 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. For the ground wave, meron tayong 3 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. And for this space wave, meron tayong 30 megahertz to 3000 gigahertz. So components of these radio waves of propagation into the space. So the radio wave is needed to carry signal information efficiently without distortion. So without distortion, without any choppy na nagagawa, no? Kaya meron tayong sinasabi na walkie-talkie kasi yung mga walkie-talkies natin or yung ating radio na ginagamit, it is a one-way call. Ibig sabihin, simplex siya. Hindi katulad ng phones na ginagamit natin, we can talk ng habang kausap natin yung nasa kabilang linya ng sabay. So, in case of audio frequencies which may range from 50 to 15 kilohertz, so it would not be technically feasible to radiate information directly for the practical transmitter and antenna, so to calculate wavelength for the above mentioned formula with the kilohertz frequency. So kasi yung ating mga radio na ginagamit, it is a simplex. Pag sinabi nating simplex, naririnig natin ang other side na tinatawagan natin when we finish talking. So kaya doon natin naririnig yung over, Roger, para malaman na tapos na yung ating pagsasalita. So then you will in practical size of the antenna such as the transmission, higher frequency can radiate efficiently from the antennas having the dimension. So these practical communication use a radio wave carry the audio information between the transmitting and receiving sides. So pagdating sa communication, merong transmitting, merong receiving. So si transmitting, siya yung nagtatransmit ng information. Si receiving, siya yung nagre-receive ng information. So transmitter and the receiver. So physical mechanisms govern the propagation waves, which is the first, the line of sight, ground wave, and the sky wave. So line of sight, ibig sabihin nakikita natin siya through our naked eye, and through the ground wave, no, yung ating mga makita nyo dito sa ating transmitter and receiver, yung ating mga signal from our provider, no, which is stand on the ground. And for the space wave, it is through the satellite. Yung medyo malayo na yung ating call. Just for example, yung ating call through overseas, no? Kaya natin natatawagan yung sa ibang lugar is through the satellite. So doon yung nagtatranscend yung messages or yung call kasi meron tayong provider from the space wave. Unlike naman sa ating mga call within the area na umaabot through the ground wave po. So next, we have the primary propagation of the radio frequencies. So kung makikita nyo, meron tayong medium frequency, very high frequency, and ultra high frequency. So there's a band or frequency band in which it is divided into major parts. Now, first, we have the pinakamababang band na meron tayo, which is the very low frequency. So, ito yung pinakamalapit na kayang maka-receive ng call. So, it is from 15 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz. Then, the low frequency is 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. Medium frequency, 300 kilohertz to 4 megahertz. High frequency, 4 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Then very high frequency, 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. So kung matatandaan nyo, pinag-aralan natin last meeting is the very high frequency. So yung band niya, no, yung frequency niya, yung layo na naaabot niya is from 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, the VHF DSC, Digital Selective Calling. So for the ultra high frequency, 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. So yung sinasabi natin dito na ultra high frequency, ito yung walkie-talkie natin na ginagamit. So yung pinag-aralan natin last meeting, it is the VHF, DSC. Then next, meron tayong super high frequency for 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz and extra high frequency for the frequency band of 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. So that is the radio frequency spectrum in which divided into major bands. So meron tayong modulation na tinatawag naman. So modulation, ito naman yung pag-modulate, yung parang sa boses. Siya naman yung nagpa-process ng ating transmitting of the information na sinesend natin through the receiving station. So meron tayong composition. Meron tayong dalawang klase ng modulation. Meron tayong analog and meron tayong digital. So for the analog, meron tayong amplitude modulation, meron tayong frequency modulation, phase modulation, and pulse modulation. So merong component yung ating analog. And for our digital modulation, we have only the pulse code modulation. So sabi dito, modulation is the simplest form of communication is Morse code. So sent by switching by the carrier frequency on and off. So yung sequence na ginawa natin for the modulation ng ating Morse code is only dots and dashes. But the rate of information relatively low because we only have 20 to 25 words per minute. In order for you to have a good communication. But to transmit information using Morse code is very for the special knowledge. Kasi nga, kailangan kabisado mo yung codes bago ka makapag-transmit. Kasi hindi pwedeng iisipin mo muna kung ano yung code na yon bago ka mag-transmit. And remember, we have the 20 to 25 words per minute na sinusunod to have a good communication rate. Kaya sabi dito, if you have the ability to transmit information using the Morse code, you have those special knowledge. Kaya pinakabisado ko sa inyo yon para once na magta-transmit kayo, but now it is not relevant kasi we are in a modern world, hindi na siya ganun kagamitin. But then again, kaya nga tayo nandito ngayon sa modern world because we have those kind of communication before. So modulation, it is a mechanism whereby a radio frequency carrier wave is used for the transmission of the information. So by doing this it is maybe changed through signal but it comes to possible by the DSB. So ang tinatawag na DSB dito stands for the double sideband. O tandaan nyo yan, double sideband. So it is the possible to transmit a low frequency useful. So it is a low frequency useful, it is the double sideband signal on a high frequency. So, hindi ko maintindihan. So, kung mapapansin nyo, sa radio natin, may nakikita kayong AM and FM. So, AM, it stands for the amplitude modulation. AM, amplitude modulation. So, lahat daw na nandun sa amplitude modulation, high frequency is varied from the low frequency use of signal. So, di ba meron din kayo nakikitang FM? So, FM stands for the frequency modulation. So, the code for the frequency modulation is F3E. So, that is the difference between the amplitude tsaka frequency modulation. So, for the frequency modulation, the information is over carrier for the wave. Okay, so the difference between the FM to AM, on the FM, FM na lang natin para mabilis, hindi na yung frequency modulation and amplitude modulation. So the difference between the FM and AM, for the FM, the wave is varying from the instantaneous frequency while the amplitude modulation remains constant. So pag sinabi nating instantaneous, it is the moment where the signals will be analyzing and it is derived from the signals in which it is changes over time. So nagbabago-bago siya compared sa ating amplitude modulation, the frequency remains constant. No? Hindi siya nagbabago kung ano yung frequency niya, yun siya. Hindi siya the same or constant siya. Unlike dito sa ating frequency modulation, pabago-bago siya. Then next, FM mechanism in which the carrier frequency is altered by signal to be transmitted by the NBDP. So the narrow band direct printing is a method for the radio telex. So for the purpose of this telegraph, the signal shifts the frequency of the carrier between the predetermined values. The maritime context of the information is carried mainly by speech of the or data. So it's either through speech or through printed form. So kaya nakalagay doon narrow band direct printing. It is either through voice or through printed form. So in radio telephony, frequency modulation is also known as the phase modulation. So for the emission code of the phase modulation is G3E. Tandaan niyo na, yung kanina, yung ating FM, emission code niya is F3E. Para naman sa ating phase modulation, we have a code of G3E. So whenever the phase modulation is in time integral for the FM signal. So the ITU, sabi ko nga si International Telecommunication Union, siya yung nagre-regulate sa ating communication around the globe. It designates the VHF channels as the F3E and G3E. But the operator is concerned no difference because the frequency is carrier results in the corresponding change. Sabi nga natin, hindi siya ganun ka ang tawag dito, hindi naman ka-relevant eh. Hindi siya ganun ka-accurate kasi instantaneous yung ating FM, the frequency modulation. So, in frequency, shifting or FSK is used for the NBDP frequency. So, 170 Hertz is shifted for the center of the mark and space. So, for every mark and space daw, mark is equivalent to the 1685 Hertz and for the space of 1785 Hertz. So, ayan po yung itsura ng ating amplitude modulation for the phase modulation. Sabi natin, meron tayong iba't ibang ayan, yung phase modulation natin. Meron tayo iba't ibang component ng ating analog modulation. So, tapos na tayo sa amplitude modulation. Tapos na rin tayo sa frequency modulation. So, ito yung ating phase modulation. So, for the phase modulation, kapag daw yung message signal, for the carrier, ganyan daw yung pinaka-modulation niya, and for the phase modulated signal. So, pag sinabing modulate, yung parang pag nagsasalita tayo, nagkakaroon ng modulation. Minsan tumataas, minsan bumababa yung boses natin. So, modulated voice. Kaya pabago-bago. So, for the pulse modulation naman, meron tayong chapter. So, this chapter includes the pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, pulse position modulation, and pulse code modulation. So, for the process of the signals, the form of pulses, this continues by using special techniques. So, kung makikita nyo daw yung itsura na yan, no, it is constant na ganyan yung itsura ng each chapter of the pulse. So, if you are referring into the width modulation of the pulse, you can see the on the violet one. No? For the orange one naman, it is the code modulation, and so on for the amplitude modulation and the position modulation of the pulse. So AM, it is the information modulated to the carrier. Wave appears as the frequency below. So above the carrier frequency for the sidebands of the bands depending on the nature of the information. So again, no, for the FM frequency modulation, ang code natin is F3E. And for our code sa atin namang, para makita nyo, no, F3E, emission code niya. Emission code naman ng ating phase modulation is G3E. And in radio telephony, meron tayong sidebands requires a bandwidth of 2.8 kilohertz acceptable speech communication. The upper and lower sidebands contain the same information, and the bandwidth of the carrier 5.6 and 32.8 kilohertz were sufficient. So hindi ko na masyadong i-elaborate yan kasi hindi naman siya ganun ka-importante. No? So for the emission code of our DSB or the double sideband is A3E. No? So 2/3 of the transmitter output is contained in the carrier, which is not useful information signal. So that is for the double sideband, so A3E. So by elimination, the duplicated information in the lowest sideband along with the carrier, transmitter efficiently increased by the power which is necessary to transmit lower sideband. So meron tayong double sideband, meron din tayong single sideband. So for the single sideband, ang atin namang emission code is H3E. So the frequency spaces was necessary to transmit two sidebands now reduced to 50%. So kapag ang ating sidebands is reduced to 50%, it is referring into the single sideband. So if it is 100%, of course, we're referring into the double sideband. So for the emission code of the suppressed, no, kanina sabi natin single sideband H3E. Pero kapag single sideband with suppressed carrier, we're referring into the J3E. So the full transmitter output is spent to the information signal. So process of the modulation. So modulation and demodulation. Kung matatandaan niyo, I remember during high school days for the computer subject, meron tayong modem na tinatawag. So doon kinuha yung modem, no, modulation and demodulation. So makita niyo diyan si client binary data, which is the modem, and analog signal PSTN, and the modem and the server. So for the PSTN, it means it stands for the PSTN stands for the public switch telephone network, while the PSDN naman stands for the public switch data network. So for the PSTN, it is consists for the access of networks for the core network. The connection between the telephone and exchange is known as the access network. So between the changes, it is known for the core network. So the modem is needed to connect with the computer for the data communication as the modem. So that is for the uh, PSDN. PSDN. So for the following features of the PSDN, it is useful for the circuit switching. So kapag nagpapalit tayo ng circuit through the modulation and demodulation. So makita nyo yung transmitter. So from the transmitter structure, no? Kunyari mo ako yung tumatawag, ito yung structure. So radio frequency, generator, oscillator, synthesizer. So kapag tumawag ka, mag-goes through siya sa modulator. Then from the modulator, magpapass through siya amplifier, then through the antenna. Then si antenna naman, magbibigay ng bandwidth para ma-receive ni transmitter. So for example, si Mike, syempre magsasalta ka through mic, then magbibigay kay modulator, then itatranscend niya kay amplifier, then si amplifier igigib niya kay signal, then si signal mag-aano siya ng frequency para ma-receive ni receiver. The same as with the telex unit. So the telex unit, itatransfer niya kay telex modem, then si telex modem, itatransfer niya kay modulator. Once na na-receive ni modulator, punta siya kay amplifier, then si amplifier, i-amplifies ni antenna yung signal through the frequency. So ganun po yung process ng ating transmitter and receiver. So for the radio frequency generator, produces the carrier for the frequency of transmission will be carried out. So the modulator is used to combine the informations for the microphone telex with the carrier. So the type of modulation maybe amplitude modulation or the frequency modulation. So or the phase modulation. So its signal is amplified through the transmitter fed to the antenna, and the antenna transmit to the receiver. So it requires tuning frequency, so it radiates efficiently. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, di ba, yung mga lumang antena natin sa bahay, iniikot-ikot pa natin. So, kasi baka mamaya may nabla-block siyang signal. So, baka mamaya, di ba, yung bandwidth niya, gumaganon-ganon lang, tinatranscend niya lang kung saan nakaturo yung pinaka ah, antena niya ng signal. So, baka mamaya, yung bandwidth niya, pag ganyan lang, and merong obstruction na nakaano sa gitna, so, mawawalan ngayon ng connection para ilipat. Kunyari mo, yung bandwidth niya, di ba, pag ganyan. Tapos, merong puno dito. For example, ito yung itong battle yung puno. Mabablock niya yung frequency para i-transfer dun sa receiver. So, ngayon, dahil mabablock niya, magkakaroon ng choppy signal, marireceive niya but not the same as the words or communication na binigay mo para ma-transcend dun sa receiver. Kaya nagkakaroon ng blockage at yung pinag-uusapan nyo, hindi nyo naiintindihan. So that is the cycle of the communication between the transmitter and the receiver using the antenna. So it is not practicable to install antenna on board ships, kaya hindi yun applicable sa onboard. So that's why we use the satellite. Because physically, the ideal length, it is not applicable. Siyempre, isipin nyo, no, meron tayong i-consider na current. Consider din natin yung lakas ng hangin. Ala naman tayong mga puno doon, buildings, para ma-block niya yung hangin. So lahat ng hangin is marireceive nyo. So pwede marireceive ng antena nyo. So pwede masira yung antena at tumumba. So however, electrical length of the antenna can be lengthened or shortened with respect to the physical length of the introduction of the extra radio frequency indicators and capacitors in the ATU. So ATU stands for the antenna tuning unit. So, 'di ba, meron tayong tuning na nakikita natin doon. So, binabago-bago natin 'yon sa ating mga radio. I don't know kung sino yung may radio dito sa bahay. Makita niyo doon, meron tuning unit sa kanilang radio. So the most modern equipment is achieved through automatically by pressing the tune before the actual transmission, a signal meter which measures antenna current and gives a visual indication of the transmission. So for the MFHF 2182 kHz, it is automatic tuning fails. So for the individual's manufacturer's manual, consulted before the details. So kapag hindi tayo sure, for example, dun sa ating VHF DSC, kasi ayun pa lang yung ginagamit natin. Kapag hindi tayo sigurado dun sa VHF DSC natin, no, ang gagawin natin is magkakaroon tayo ng reading manual. So, ano yung manual na babasahin natin? So, it must be the manufacturer's manual should be checked, no? Kasi meron tayong attitude na kapag meron tayong bagong gamit or bagong device, no, we always skip the manual. So, sino yung guilty dyan? Lahat tayo guilty dyan pagdating sa excited tayong gamitin yung isang device or excited tayong mabuo yung isang puzzle, pero we never tried to look at the manual. Ini-skip lagi natin yung manual. So kapag nagkaroon na ng aberya, nagkaroon na ng problem, for example sa phone or sa laptop, kapag nagkaroon na ng hindi natin naiintindihan na failure, doon pa lang natin check yung manual. So all of us are guilty about that, na hindi natin talaga siya binabasa, no? So again, on board, kapag hindi daw tayo familiar or meron tayong problem na na-encounter kapag dating sa is try to read or try to consult the individual's manufacturer's manual. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, iba-ibang yung subsystems natin is iba-iba yung manufacturer, and hindi kung ano yung pinag-aralan natin na GMDSS equipment here on school is the same as the equipment na makikita nyo on board. Kaya sabi ko, dapat flexible kayo pagdating sa knowledge. Sir, ba't pa natin pinag-aaralan? Of course, para aware kayo kung ano yung gagawin nyo. Alam nyo yung nature of distress, alam nyo how to send, alam nyo kung ano yung distress signals, para kung magkakaroon man ng difference between the equipment, hindi nyo man alam right away i-operate, but alam nyo yung logic, alam nyo yung theory kung paano siya, kung para saan siya gagamitin. So nakukuha nyo yung, it does make sense to you that it's not the same as the product, but you know how to, it's hindi lang siya parehong physically, but you know how to make it, or you know the process on how to use it, no? Hindi lang kayo familiar sa itsura, pero once na nahawakan nyo na, alam nyo na how to run the equipment. So the default 2182 kHz setting is need to be carried out upon installation if the appropriate antenna is moved or changed. So, ito naman yung ating receiver structure. So, sa kanina nakita nyo yung transmitter structure. So, from the receiver structure, once daw siya na-receive ni antenna, mapupunta daw siya sa tuned amplifier, then AGC, then meron tayong frequency changer or Amos demodulator, then audio amp and synthesizer. So kaya pagdating sa iyo, pwede siya siyang i-tune in, di ba? Or yung RF gain para maging mapino yung receive na makukuha nyo. Kaya pagdating sa receiver, meron kayong tune in or meron kayong ini-eliminate na sounds para mas maging pino yung ma-receive nyo or para mas clear yung ma-receive nyo transmission galing sa transmitter. So the wanted signal is received by tuning input to the receiver to the wanted frequency. So kaya tayo nag-tune in para yung wanted frequency lang yung ma-receive natin, no? So received signals may greatly in strength due to the number of factors. Ano ba yung mga factors na yan? First, we have a local transmitter radiating from high or low power. Baka mamaya yung nagre-receive ka ng high power, sa low power lang pala dapat. Next, the distant station radiating high power or medium power. So again, dapat kung magre-receive ka na malapit lang naman sa'yo, is hindi mo na siya kailangang i-high power. Bakit? Kasi pati yung nasa malayong lugar, marireceive mo. Ang kailangan mo lang naman is certain distance para ma-receive mo. Tendency, nagkakaroon ng ingay sa radyo nyo kasi pati yung nasa malayong lugar, nare-receive mo pa yung transmission niya in which hindi naman siya applicable. Hindi mo naman siya kailangan ma-receive. Ang kailangan mo lang ma-receive is transmission about or transmission from the vessel na malapit sa iyo. Kasi ayun lang yung kailangan mong or ayun lang yung kinukuha mong information. Then next, meron tayong variation in the ionosphere which may affect signals from the MF at night or HF at any time. So, ang tawag daw doon is polarization fading. Then next, meron tayong simultaneous reception, ground, and sky. Waves on MF at night, so it may constantly vary in strength or phase of interact with each other or interference fading. So, on the HF bands naman daw, ang ating magiging problem is signals can reach the receiver having taken different paths, again, causing interference fading. So, doon nagsisimulan na mawalan ng interference or mawalan ng signal. Okay, so that is the first half of our discussion. So, after 30 minutes to 40 minutes, mag-take muna kayo ng break, health break. Then, we'll go back and continue with our discussion. So, again, that is only for the first half. Then, go back 30 to 40 minutes. Thank you.